Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. So welcome to Prison Architects. Now a lot of you be like, this isn't League. No, while it's the end of the season, Season 6, and then pre-season is coming around, I just thought I'd experiment a bit with the channel. You know, it's always nice to see what you can do as a YouTuber, and obviously my League videos are going to be 10 times the popularity than my other videos that I do, and I completely understand that, but I enjoy this game thoroughly, and I have seen other YouTubers play this game, and I enjoy those series, and I've always thought, hell, I'd love to do my own series of Prison Architect. So this is what this is. Episode 1, there may be a question mark at the end of the title, because it will be subject to how well this video does, how many views it gets, how many likes it gets, how in the comment section do people like it. So that's what the idea is. So this is going to be about half an hour to 40 minutes long, planning the prison, making the initial prison, and yeah, just seeing if you guys would want a mini series. I'm not going to make a 100 episode series of this. This could be a 10 to 15 episode series that we'd build a prison, try to have the different sectors, so min, max, medium, and protected, and, you know, try to just do everything. We can probably do it fairly quick. But anyway, I'm just in the menu to make a new prison. If you are completely lost and you have no idea what's going on, I will explain it in a minute. So we're going to do a male prison. We're going to have the normal average warden. We're not going to go with anything special, but we're going to go for a large prison, and we're going to have weather and temperature on. I do like to make it hard for myself a little bit, and we're going to put events on. Gangs, I'd love to do gangs, but gangs is a bit difficult because they're, you know, I could fail in doing a gang prison in episode 4, and I do want to make sure that we can do at least 10 to 15 episodes, and I can definitely do that with these. So let's click play. So welcome to Prison Architect. This is the actual game. It's a lovely game. It's a wonderful game if you've never played it. I've played it quite a bit, and yeah, right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to turn field capacity to that, so we don't actually have people arriving. Delete the CEO's letter, and we'll build or get a grant basic detention center and administration center. Now what we're going to quickly do is click the pause button and start planning. So I'm going to build a little bit of a different prison than I normally do. Again, I have put a lot of time into this game myself. I do know quite a bit about it, and hopefully I won't cause any of you guys headaches, because whenever I watch YouTubers play this game, I have had many headaches going, what are they doing? You know, why are they setting so many guards to being near a door? Why don't they go for the remote door system? So yeah, or they don't understand the heating system properly, that you should have a valve to turn the heating on and off. So these are things that hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit better than other YouTubers. And if you're wondering what YouTubers are those, I've watched 2 series of this game. I've watched Nerd Cubed and I've watched Sips's. Both are good series, but yeah, right. We're going to start the prison like this, I think. It's generally how I like to do it. I just don't know. I'm actually going to extend it one more. So what we're doing now, if you're completely lost, we are designing a prison. We're going to build the prison, and then the prison just begins. It begins life. You have to manage it. You have to hire guards, that type of thing. So the idea key behind this is we're going to have a 2-door. So 2-door, people can go in, 1 door, and then they're into the actual prison. That's my thought process. If we can open it up a little bit. 4 on that side, 4 on that side with 1 more, so 5 and 5. We'll make it 10 down, and we'll make it 15. So this is our little entrance. So this will probably just be made out of fence, and this will be the actual building. We'd probably want fences going, yeah, we could probably put them actually out to there, and then down, and then what, to there. Is it there? Yeah, and then that way. So these are just going to be perimeter fences. This is a little entrance, and then here is the reception to the prison. Continuing the building. Well, we can actually do it 2 ways. We can either make this a fence on the perimeter, or we can make it actual building, which I think we're actually going to make it a building. We're going to make these buildings. It's not to waste the space, really. So if we have it like that, so we just basically are making, how long is that down? That is 23 down. That's a bit random. We'll put it 22 down. How much is this? This is 9, that's 18 to 22. So we'll extend it to there. Bring it up. And lovely. So we've just planned I believe it's symmetrical. I do have fair bad OCD when I build prisons, by the way, so you'll probably notice this. So what we'll do is we'll have basically rooms going off either side. So this may be like the staff area. That if an office is 4 by 4, so that's big enough for an office, I believe, for 4. So we'll have a line of offices. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And we'll actually cut off and build to there. So we have 4 nice offices there, which means we could also build on the other side. So these can be all of our staff offices. That actually works quite nicely. So this is our staff area, already set up and ready to go. On the opposite section, so how many are we having? We're having a 4 thickness corridor. That is quite thick. Do we want a 4 thickness corridor? Not really. We kind of want a 2 thickness corridor. So what we'll do, we'll just adjust. And this is why I like planning stuff. A lot of people who play Prison Architect just start building and then they find out that they've done something wrong or they've measured it wrong. So I go with a bit more tactical approach. So as you can see, so we've got the same space for the offices, but now it's a little bit more confound, which is, I think, a little bit nicer. Wait, where's that going? That's in line with that. So that's going up there, and we can get rid of those. Okay, cool. And then what we can do here is have a corridor going up. Wait, where's the corridor going? It's going from here to across all the way up here. And then we've got the similar space, which is quite nice. But we might even need more space than that because if I'm not mistaken, a power is 3 by 8. So we actually need, what we'll do is change the planning a bit to open it up here, end the corridor there, and then our power thing can be there. That's nice. Okay, let's begin building, just to show you guys, because if you've never watched this game, you're probably very confused right now. But let's actually just begin the building process so you actually can see what this game is all about. Oops, I forgot. You can't build like that. So there we go. Right, and then we'll build some doors just to get them in place, and then straight away, I know it's very expensive, but where is it? Perimeter wall. I like having perimeter wall as the entrance bit, but there. And then we'll have normal fence, I think. Probably would actually change with the deliveries and everything go. The other side of the road is usually a good place. So where's garbage? Just go deliveries. And we'll put that down there. And then garbage. We'll put that down here. Now there are some new features which I find kind of annoying, not gonna lie, like this one. If you want to see where all your garbage areas are, you hover over garbage and it will only highlight garbage and black out the rest of the area. Kind of annoying, but what can you do? Right. Also, another thing that always used to annoy me when I watch these series myself is YouTubers that don't speed up the gameplay. They are like just building, there's no prisoners, and they have it on speed 1. It's like, come on, you can speed up the game. Let's go. Let's try and actually build a prison here. Okay, so we can also, while these guys are building, we can start planning the rest. So what we're going to do, straight from the reception, we're going to have the yard. And I think we're going to have a pretty big one. So we're going to go from 4 down there. Let's actually do it to there. And then what? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to have a yard. I think that's good enough. That's pretty big. That's going to last us quite some time. And then I like basically closing off the yard with all buildings all around it. So that is outside, but the rest of everything else is buildings. I just find it very secure that people can't escape during yard time, if you will. So what we can do, we can have... I kind of like, I don't like, say like here, if I made this a rectangle, I don't like that just being the canteen. I like corridors. So this is, how long is it? It is 25. I want to make that 26 because I like even numbers for the double doors. Because I like having the double doors in the middle. So we need to go to, that's the middle if I'm not mistaken. Is that the middle? 12 and 12. Yes. Wait. Is that the middle? 12. 12. But that's a wall. So no, we actually do need it to be an even number. My mistake. If I'm not mistaken, because now when the wall goes up there, 12 on the inside, 12, there we go. Okay, so we'll build up here. What we'll probably do is build it up to that point there. Let's make a hole there, And then what we can do is actually be pretty smart and pretty shifty. I know this is where my power was going to go, but I can always adjust. Adjusting as part of having a successful prison is we can make the corridor bend. A lot of people never actually make corridors bend in this game, and I never know why. So we'll do that, I think. Actually, we'll bring it more across like this and then up. So yeah, that works for me. Alright, we can also start building stuff. So power in there. Got room for all power stuff around it. We'll put that there. Capacitor, we'll just build 3 for now. We've got enough money. And then we'll start just putting the electronic cable in place. And the power needs to connect to the water. And we'll then start building some large pipes as well, all the way down to there. And we'll bring both to the middle of the yard, because this is going to be the central point. Right, so what I'm planning here is this is actually going to be the kitchen area. So, how much is a cooker is 2. So a cooker, if the door's there, so a cooker, a sink is 3, and a fridge is 2. So you can have a line of cookers like that. So how many cookers? That's 5 cookers. Line of fridges, and then 3, 3, and 3. Wait, have I done that right? 3, 1, 2, 3, there. 2 to 12. Yeah, okay, that works. So we have a decent amount of space there for cooking objects. Doors out both sides. Oh yeah, there's no space in between all them. So we actually need to have a line like that, just to be neat. Right, so back into foundations. We are building pretty big foundations here, but I think we'll be okay. That's the yard. I did say I like having corridors, but I'm not probably going to do one for the canteen right now. And then we need to start thinking about cells. Okay. So I think we'll have a cell block down here. So planning, walls. If we just build a massive blob like that, and then we can start filling in the blob for what we want. Okay, so basic cell for a prisoner is that size like that. So they have 6 blocks in a cell. So that's kind of what you want to do, like this. All the way down. Like that. This is the way that I do it. Everybody has their own little different design techniques that they do. Like that. And then down like that. Have a 2 wide corridor. And then you do the opposite. And have you have a line like that. So this is a line of cells, which would make for 1 cell block. And this 1 line of cells would be able to have, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 18 prisoners in there. Let's just quickly do it on the other side as well, just to see how we're doing for room. See, because now we've got this extra space that we don't actually need. So we have that. I'm just going to make lines, I guess, down like this. So far, so good. But we're not going to build all this straight away, obviously, because we don't actually have enough money to do that. Let's just put in all the little dots. I will say, hopefully, people are getting what I'm doing here. If people have never watched this game before, then you might be very confused with what's going on. Hopefully, you won't be. But do I want them to go straight onto like that, or do I want to have a corridor in between? This is the good question. Because if I have like that, they're going straight into the yard. I think what we'll do is have a corridor. So we are making the yard a bit smaller, which is a bit of a bummer, but I like having corridors because you can have phone booths and that indoors, so if the prisoners complain about it being cold, they can always go indoors. Alright, and then we want to build a brick wall going around when that's done. Okay, we're getting there. There's a lot of planning going on in episode 1, so if you're like, I don't know whether I want us to continue this series, planning, this episode is probably going to be a lot more boring than an average episode, because this is the start. This is literally me going, okay, we need this, 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 and this, and this. So obviously there's a lot of like planning going on. Staff door right at the top. Another staff door here. Brick wall all the way around for the kitchen to separate the kitchen and that. And then also we're building a brick wall over here. We do need to build some stuff that I don't actually want, because we need to build a actual shower room and a holding cell that I have no intention of keeping. I never keep those type of things. I don't like them. I don't think you need them. But we're going to have to build them for now, which is a bit lame, but what can you do? So we're just going to build, not all of it. We won't build these 2 offices down here because it's kind of pointless to do so. But what we'll do is we'll build some of the offices. So like this one, that one. We'll build 4 offices, or have a rooms for 4 offices as of right now. We'll also need a door going into the staff only area. We could actually make one of these doubles into a staff room actually. Hopefully none of the guys get stuck. They didn't, thank God. Right, so we need to hire just before, because like you're always going to be careful with money. We need 2 guards, 2 cooks, a warden. Alright, cool. So let's start actually filling in these, shall we? So this is going to be 1 office, this is going to be another office, that's going to be another office, and that's going to be another office. Objects, we need an office desk. One there, one there. Filing cabinet, I always do it that side, and chairs like that. I always hate that the chairs don't align with the computer. I swear the designer of this game must have been like, yeah, let's put the computer in the desk and the chair will never align, which has always bugged me. Utilities, unfortunately, they need to always go in the room because they're blocked off by the door. And this one as well is a little bit cut off, so we'll do like that. Perfect. So far, so good. Let's may as well bring the pipes. I hate having them next to each other because you can't tell. Right, I'll bring it over here like that. That works for me. And then objects. We're going to make this the canteen. So rooms, canteen, like this. It does go a bit dodgy when you're making it like a diagonal, but luckily it's at the bottom, so that works. Kitchen, like that. Perfect, perfect. Objects. So right at the beginning, we don't need that many things. We probably only need like 1 cooker and 1 fridge, really, because you're not going to have many prisoners from the start. We're building very much a prison that we can grow into, rather than a prison that we need straight away. So serving tables. What way do we want to do it? Do we want to have them up here, or do we want to have them down here? I guess we'll have them down here. Just hang on. Well, that won't fit. How many do we need? Okay, to there, to there. I guess we can have 2 up here and 2 down there eventually, so that can work, because that doesn't fit, does it? No, damn. I guess we'll have actually a gap with some bins. I'm not really sure if the indoor bins are a working thing, but I always like the idea of it. Alright. Okay. It's not the most ideal setup, actually, because we are going to waste a line of benches because we won't have room. But that's fine. Right, that'll do for the canteen for now. Again, not going to have that many prisoners. We've got to make sure we have a shower and all that good stuff. So as annoying as it is, we're just going to have to build a thin line here. And some people are going to go, what the hell am I doing? And we're going to have to build this corridor down here. Even that we'll probably build some of the cells in a second. The reason for it is I just need to encapsulate the yard. And eventually there will be a building to the left. So I don't want to just build a fence because I may as well build it now. Rooms. This is going to be our lovely yard. Ta-da! And now, before we can get this grant, we need to build a shower and a holding cell. So this can be the holding cell for now, if it fits. I'm not sure if it's the right diameters. Nope, it has to be a 5x5. That's annoying. So we're going to have to build that somewhere specific. I guess this can be the stupid shower for now. Literally, we can just do that, make that a shower, put a shower head on it, and that we'll use eventually for one of the cells. I don't know what room this is going to be. Potentially security eventually, because I like having the security near the entrance just in case people are trying to escape. Utilities, unfortunately we need to build a little pipe there. Okay, perfect. And these need power. So, like that. That works. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Also, there's no access to this room. This is just going to be a storage room, by the way. Storage. So like that. I don't want to get near these stuff, so we'll just have storage going up and down there. Alright, it's coming along actually. We also need to employ finance eventually. We are running out of money very quickly, but we'll be getting some of these grants very soon. What we could actually do, it's a bit scumbag, but we'll just make this our holding cell to begin with, because again, I really don't care about it. We're going to be selling all this stuff straight away just to get $10,000. So after these stuff is built, we should have 10,000, which is nice. Oh yeah, hang on, I forgot we need a door. I don't want to build that there. To there, perfect. We got a bench that we just need to put in here to make it pretend to be a holding cell for now. And then yeah, we need to build in here. So what, down here, and then there. Oh wait, no, I wasn't going to do it there, was I? I was going to do it here and here. And once those are built, then we'll get the 10,000 because it will be a secure yard. Lovely. And then after that, we'll hire the accountant, and then we'll get more money, and then we're pretty much on our way to make the prison, which is awesome. And there we should have 10,000. Nice. Then we just got to wait for the accountant. So what we can do straight away now is dismantle that, and dismantle that, and then we can get rid of these rooms because we're not keeping them. So what we got to start doing now is building some cells. So we'll build all the way down here. I think we'll just build this cell block. We'll ignore the other one for now, and then we'll also make this into a reception. Where's reception? I'll find it every single time. There it is. Every single time when you're looking for something, you'll always miss it, especially while you're recording. Right, so this is the area that the prisoners check in when they first arrive to prison. So the table, make it behind. Oh, actually, no, we'll put one. What way do we want to do it? Do we want to put it down here? Yeah, there's more room down here. And then chairs. There. There. I don't know if they use chairs. I just like having like the idea of like a little waiting area for all the prisoners. Okay. So far so good. We can actually take on another grant. And which one do we want? Visitation rights? We could do visitation pretty early. Yeah, why not? Can we now hire the accountant? We can. So I get the accountant in there. That's been built now, but it's demolished this wall, unfortunately. Also, we need a door. So make a door. And now we need the utilities to start coming down here. So we'll actually preemptive put electronics across like that. Bring it down here. So far, we're not going to care about heating in these early stages, because heating is expensive and we won't have a lot of money in the beginning. So you don't really want to make it game over by doing expensive heating that you don't really need it in the early stage. Like, your prison won't go to chaos because you don't have heating. What it will go to chaos though is laundry. I just remembered, so we're going to have to make sure we get laundry pretty quick. So we're just building a cell block, the first cell block. Cell block A is the grant we're going to take, and then we need to start researching, maintenance, and then prison labour. Because yeah, trust me, you really need laundry very quickly, especially if it starts to rain, because prisoners literally flip out if they get a little bit dirty. Apparently clothes are really important. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use for this, actually. This could be a... I did say security, but I don't even know if that's going to work for security. It might be too small. I might actually just end up demolishing this wall and having it as a bigger room with a thinner corridor. Because this is just a staff corridor, so it doesn't need to be two. I think I'm going to do that right now. Plan ahead type thing. And then demolish objects. Get rid of the door. And then build a wall over it. Yeah, I think that this is just better. So we'll have a thin corridor all the way up like that, and then across like that. So it just gives us a little bit more room that we could actually separate these two rooms, actually. That's what we're going to do. And this could be for something else entirely. Staff door. So one of these could actually be visitation, believe it or not. So we'll have one staff door, or one... We'll have one door there, and have one staff door there. Because this actually could be a cleaning cupboard. This works. And this should be big enough for visitation now. Yep, it is. Not very big visitation, but hopefully we can squeeze. If we can squeeze... perfect. Perfect. Little visitation room. That works very well, actually. 3 tables, that's all we need. And now we need to build a common room too. Common room is something that we actually could do sneakily. Like this. So this is why I like having a little corridor. This is going to be the common room in between the 2 cell blocks eventually. Do we actually need a door? I guess we'll have a door on each side. Rooms, common room, boom, common room, and then in a common room you can have anything you want in a common room. We're going to have, we actually need a pool table in the first common room to get the grant, and 2 TVs apparently. That's kind of annoying, but yeah, alright. It's not symmetrical anymore, is it? Oh well. We've lost the symmetricalness of our prison already. Chairs all the way along. Chairs are pretty important. And then TV's down here. As long as it's practical to use, then that works for me. Right, so let's actually fill up these cells, shall we? So I'll probably end episode 1 with prisoners arriving, just so people who have never seen this type of thing before get an idea of what the hell's going on. Because I imagine there are some people watching still going, what's happening? Right, how do we want to do them? So shower, toilet, bed. So bed all the way down like this. Like that. And then the other side flip it over. So this is where the prisoners obviously sleeps and whatnot. Toilet down here. You gotta be careful with toilets because they actually can escape from them. They can tunnel out of toilets. So especially like these cells down here, they will very much look to tunnel eventually. They can't tunnel straight away because they do need to find tools that they can use to tunnel out. And obviously they won't have those because we don't actually have any tools in the prison. Because we won't have a workshop or anything like that in the early stages. Drain underneath the shower so the water goes straight out. It's, in practical sense, you know, in the real world, this isn't very practical considering it would probably make their bed very damp. But this is not the real world. You just got to cram in everything that gives them a nice cell, really. Alright, so before we put the doors on, we may as well put the utilities. The easiest way to do that is a line of small pipes going up there, smaller pipes going down there, and occasionally, every pretty much few cells, you just put a line and then you'll have all water. Easiest way to do it, because I've seen some people try to link up every single bit and it's like, no, you don't need to do that. And then final bit is doors. So we can actually start putting the doors on now because we've planned everything so it will eventually get done. And we've still got 20,000 spare, which is pretty nice. So what we'll actually do is hire more guards. That's always nice. Prison labour, get that straight away. We also need to buy a foreman. So we also need a new office to fill up. So computer, we'll actually do another one just so we're prepared already. Chair, filing cabinet, and hire the foreman. There we go. So when these offices are built, he'll have a space to go straight away. But yeah, so far so good. What we probably could do, because this one is looking a little bit, you know, not symmetrical, is we'll probably just put a 2-line corridor going down here and then have another bunch of cells here. So this will be where the 3rd cell block goes to make it look dumb. But we'll also probably connect these 2 corridors that prisoners could decide just to stay indoors if they want to. Which is nice. We actually have no grants at the moment as well. We keep completing the grants very quickly. Grants. So, health, sure. Maintenance, yep, we can do that because we're in the process of actually hiring all this stuff, and we'll get cleaning on the go, and we'll get health on the go. And yeah, we're looking pretty good so far. This prison might be a pretty quick one to get good, to be honest. So they're storing stuff in there. Power, we can probably add a few more, because I hate being caught unaware. It happens to me a few times. And we've got over 50,000. So what we're actually going to do, we're going to max out our power from the beginning. You don't normally do that, but we're gonna. And what we can also do is preemptively just buy a few more stuff for the kitchen, cookers and all that. I actually don't know if we'll need that amount of sinks, so we could use that for more cookers and stuff eventually. But yeah, I actually really like how our prison's coming along. We'll actually make this room into a staff room, because we need one of those eventually for another one of the grants. It's a staff well-being one, which we haven't taken yet. And drinks machine. Nice. You could just put one sofa and one drinks machine in there, but I always add a couple more because it just looks weird if you don't. Right, so there is a completed cell block. What we're going to do is we're going to make another completed cell block. Oops. Because we have a lot of money in the early stage of this game already. What we could do as well is start planning for the third cell block, because we might get onto it pretty quick. Again, I don't dilly-dally with this game. How do we want to do it? We probably want to back them off again, so like that. Oh god. Like that, yeah. And like that. So, and then down here like that. So we need a corridor going there, corridor going there, which means we need to extend this. So extend it, I don't know, to about... Well, we could just extend it to there for now. Probably. And then going up like that. Cut it off there. And then, oh, no, every other one. Oh god, they're locked in, aren't they? Large jail door. We'll finish that very soon, or complete it very soon. Okay, power going down. Water pipe. Let's bring that over there and bring this down here. We've got our first bunch of prisoners arriving in 10 hours. So that will probably be the end of this first episode, is when they also arrive. We'll have a look at the prisoners, see if there's any troublemakers straight away. And yeah, you guys can let me know if you want me to continue this. It is a game that I thoroughly enjoy. I don't know how well I'm going to be at making videos on it, because obviously, I don't know, this isn't really my type of thing, but I just thought it'd be a bit of fun. Also, I need to work out heating in a second. That's pretty easy to do. Down there, down there, down there. So now you can start to see the prisoners taking form. So we've got 2 cell blocks being built very early on. That this capacity is, what, 32 prisoners? Basically straight away, you know. We go pretty quick. Like, if I'm actually quick enough, which I might be, we might be able to, instead of getting only 16 prisoners in our first intake, we might actually be able to get 32. I think we might be able to. If we're pretty quick. Let's see. I'm definitely going to have to hire more guards. I didn't think of that. Because our first intake, I think we've only got about 5 guards. Showerhead, 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 showerhead. Keep her going. And then drain. There we go. There's the drain. We'll do all the utilities after we've set everything up. No, not a drain under the toilet. Drain under the shower, please. And finally, a bookshelf. So if you want, you can give these prisoners like luxurious cells. You can put TVs, you can put a pool table in their own room if you want to. But there's you know, you don't really want to do that, do you? Alright, jail doors, not like that, like this, not like that, like this. I keep making clicking mistakes because I'm rushing, because I want to try and get... Well, what we could actually do, we could force people to come if we're not going to make it in time. We might still make it in time, but I don't know. You can just get 32 people to arrive, and then when the cells are finished, they'll eventually have a cell to go in. Which I think we might do that if we're going to be close. Yeah, we're going to do that. So, no, it's actually going up. We're going to beat it. We're going to have enough time, easily. So we're getting... How many are we getting? How many are available is actually the question. Available... 30. Yeah, 32 is available if we get min sec and we get min sec and medium sec. No problem. So yeah, our first ever intake for this prison is going to be 30 odd prisoners. Not bad. Not bad at all. That means we actually need more tables, because I wasn't expecting we're going to get that many in the first go. Like that. We definitely need to get cleaners. God, this place is dirty. How many can we fit? So if we do it there, well, if we do it like that, then like that, okay, that works. People, like, you don't actually need to put room, like, prisoners and that can actually make their way to, say, this bottom left bench. They can get there, it just doesn't look very practical if you do it that way, but does it really matter? Probably not. Right, janitor, let's buy 2 janitors, let's buy 4 more guards. We're actually losing 900 per hour here, but because we have no prisoners, we actually have no income into the prison yet. But that's about to change in 1 hour. 31 prisoners are arriving. Why aren't we having 32? Because this isn't a cell. It does not have a toilet. Hang on. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. Number per day. Did I just muck up? I might have mucked up. Ooh, did we get in time? Okay, I think we got there in time. So this doesn't have a toilet. I don't know how we missed that. Maybe we accidentally cancelled it. Let's speed that up. You can give stuff priority. Alright, I wonder if we're going to have any troublemakers or anything. Be interesting to know. See, the jail doors have now closed because we have prisoners arriving. And here we go. Let's slow down the game. So our first prisoners arriving. Simon Cowell, the music man himself. He did indie game dev piracy. Yes, bad boy. We got Tim Grieber-Dean. He did blackmail. James Brinley, insider trading and money laundering. So he's a money man. Paul Sandy, video game piracy. Al, pavement killer. He did assault. Grim, carjacking, perjury, car theft, robbery. Jesus, he's a bad guy. We might miss a few here. Benjamin Pennock, joyriding. Gareth Hancock, robbery. Jones, trafficking. I'm just seeing if we got any murderers. Possession, night, assaulting an officer. Ooh, assaulting an officer, assault. Assault. We've got a lot of assault people. Assaulting an officer, joyriding, robbery. Oh god, we're gonna have our hands full, I think. Right, let's quickly get the security guy in, and I think we're okay. Okay, so we can actually now build the health wing too, which is going to be interesting. I don't know where we want to put the health wing. So they're all getting searched. They're putting into their new uniforms. Lovely. Okay, so we actually have 32 out of 31 prisoners available. Why? Oh, this guy here. You can manually open the doors if you need to. So he should go in and put that guy's toilet, and then that will become a cell, and then we'll have 32 out of 32 cells available. Ta-da! Nice. Awesome. Okay. We might need more guards now that I think of it. We've got 12 guards, that's enough. So we can actually then start thinking about expanding down. Wait, what way do we want to do it? Down here. That is enough, right? You don't want to make any mistakes. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's enough. Okay. And then we can fill that in. Lovely. Okay. And then jail door. Well, it'll be there eventually. Okay, it's going to take a while for that to actually get built because the guards are busy, so the guards won't be opening the doors for our builders because they're dealing with all the new people. So there we go. They're now starting to go into their cells. Now, the problem with the early game, and just to mention a little bit of a difference that eventually we'll be sorting out, is there will be snitches amongst all these people. People that are volatile or should be in protective custody, and they are now with deadly people. So there may be a few killings simply because we haven't separated the prisoners types. You need to separate them. But that will come eventually. I think for episode 1 though, we've all round got a pretty good prison. I think I'm going to clean up this area. You know, we can delete stuff and start fresh. And I think we will do that in this area here because I don't actually like the common room here. I think it does look a little bit too cramped. So yeah, we will definitely make changes, make adjustments. But let's be honest, for episode 1 has been about 40 minutes long. We've set up a whole prison. We've got 2 working cell blocks of 16 prisoners per cell block. We've got all staff that we actually can probably hire. 2 doctors in a second. But we've got our power sorted. We've got our visitation. We've got a nice kitchen, big canteen. So I'd say for episode 1, not bad. I think we've gone for quite a long way in episode 1. 3 prisoners are unassigned to a cell. Why are they unassigned to the cell? Most likely they need solitary confinement. Right, let's quickly build solitary confinement. I like building it in the yard. I don't know why. I just find it funny that they're in the yard while everybody is getting food. I just want to also check that everybody is going to get meals, because if they don't, I might need more cooks. They are bringing more food out. So yeah, I think everybody will get food for now. 90% of prisoners have been fed. Let's get 1 more cook at least. 1 more cook will probably make the difference. Building the solitary confinement cells. Oops, I actually made a mistake there. So we'll actually have bigger... that's a bad mistake. Demolish... Wait. Demolish these walls. We're going to have to move them a little bit. Oh, that's annoying. So yeah, these people needed solitary. It looks so ugly. And then we need to dismantle the toilets. So, oh, there's a fight already. 1 death already. You kidding me? Is that a snitch? Is he a snitch? Yep, he was a snitch, an ex-law enforcement. So that's what I mean. I need to separate these prisoners pretty early on, because if you don't, you're basically sacrificing them because they're going to get killed. And we need to... Where is it? Solitary. Expand those. And then we also need to get some small pipes. That won't reach. Large pipe goes into there. Bring a large pipe up here. And then small pipe all the way down. We'll loop it around like that. Okay, that's going to be episode 1. So we've already had a death in the prison. But if you do want this series to continue, throw a like on it. Again, I'm not expecting these videos to get a crazy amount of views or likes, but I'm just kind of in my own head. I have a number that I'm thinking of, and if it hits that number, then I'll be like, okay, we can definitely do this series a bit more. So yeah, like it, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.